This is year A of our lectionary cycle, and thus we are focused on Matthew's gospel. But Epiphany is only so many Sundays, and we only hear a portion of Jesus' work in the world. Last week we heard the Beatitudes, the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount. It's a description, Jesus describing of how the world should be, how God intended it to be. A few years ago, my father-in-law passed away, and I was thrilled that Hector's family asked if I would do the celebration of life service for him. And the Beatitudes are one of the gospel options for that service, and I chose them. And when I preached on them, I suggested that perhaps Jesus was describing heaven, where our souls will go, and then describing the way we should bring that heaven to earth. But clearly, this is not our reality. As we start on Black History Month, it sure feels like we're moving backwards, or even like the progress we've made has been illusionary. Like others, I've felt good about DEI. And then I wonder, why the heck do we need DEI laws? Why should we have to legislate inclusion of all and accommodations for those with special needs? And I wonder why we have to justify having a month to celebrate Black history. And it's not just the accomplishments of Black Americans through our history, which of course are many and varied, but also the resilience, the strength, and the honor shown by Black Americans through our mostly adversarial history, which was once again brought to light last week when our president posted, or allowed to be posted, a vile racist video. And even when they removed it, all they said was that it was a mistake to post. Not that it was horrid, not that it didn't represent their views, or that it was wrong to create it, just it was a mistake to post it. I guess it would be fine to privately share it among themselves. And as we express our horror at that, we can understand when some Black Americans sigh and say thank you for waking up, but this is nothing new. And we are also seeing this racism being played out against brown Americans in the behavior of ICE. I feel sometimes like they're competing with each other over who can be the most cruel. Brown children are not safe in school. Brown people in court to follow immigration rules are not safe. Brown workers aren't safe. Brown people seeking medical care aren't safe. Brown people in their homes aren't safe. And it extends with horrid outcomes to allies who protest and record. But the Beatitudes, how are we to move from our reality to what Jesus describes? And today we heard the beginning of Jesus' answer. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. I want to consider the you here. This is a plural you. Jesus is speaking of community. Whatever we do not do it alone. Christians are meant to be in community. And not just with other Christians, but with all. Of course, Jesus demonstrated this when he called Mathew the tax collector to be in his inner circle, when he cured the centurion's child. And the examples are many. For us, it means being in community with those with whom we disagree. Othering is never helpful. Dialogue, understanding is helpful. And now salt. I love the salt metaphor because it is so multifaceted. Salt enhances the flavor of whatever it's added to. But if we use too much, it draws attention to itself, and not in a good way. Still, it is not meant to be non-detectable. It is also a preservative. It was and still is used to reduce water in foods, to dehydrate them, to prevent the growth of bacterium, yeast, and molds. Thank you, Google. And it is used medicinally in saline solutions, for instance. And while it heals, it can sting in the process. I don't think I need to belabor these metaphors. Y'all get it. And then we have light. I hear this from Jesus not as metaphor, but as literal. We are light. We don't have light, we are light. God's light. It is who we are. And listen closely to what Jesus says here. Let your light shine before others, they may see your good works. Glorify your Father in heaven. Let your light shine. This is passive, not shine your light, but let your light shine. Don't block it. Release God into the world. Interestingly, in the first creation story, light is the first thing God creates. He didn't create darkness. It was there. And think about it. Darkness isn't a thing. You can't add darkness to a system. You can only take away light. And we are that light. Let light shine on injustice. Let light shine on racism. But just as important, let light shine on good works, on the people in Minneapolis helping each other at great danger, or the high school students that are peacefully walking out, or the countless numbers who go to work each day and do their best in difficult environments. And going back to Scripture, my friends, I always go back to Scripture. And today we heard from Isaiah, writing to a people living under persecution. He says, he puts these words on Yahweh's lips. Is not this the fast that I choose, to loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to cover them, and not to hide yourself from your own kin. Then your light shall break forth like the dawn, and your healing shall spring up quickly. Next week, being the last Sunday of Epiphany, we will jump way forward to the Transfiguration. But I commend for you in your copious spare time to read the intervening chapters of Mathew, and in them you will experience Jesus in the world, his teaching, his healing, miracles, how he was the salt of the earth, and how he let God's light shine. And in summary, I want to hearken back again to last week when we heard from Micah. Again, Micah was writing for a people feeling powerless against a regime and asked what they should do. And Micah responded, and we all are familiar with this. He has told you, O mortal, what is good and what the Lord requires of you, but to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God.